Hi fellas, today we're working on a 07 Dodge Charger. This car's actually in some of my other videos. What we got is we got a misfire going on. Read the code. Go up to your local parts store. And that's where they'll plug it in at right there. And it'll plug in. As long as your check engine light's on, you'll have a code, and then take the code and see what they tell you. So what I have here on this card, that's been read is bank 3, which is we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So bank 3 is under the plenum. So on the plenum, for you guys that's not sure about how to do this, we have 2, 4, 6, 7 bolts holding the plenum down. To take a little line off here, just turn it up and turn it upward. This transmission line here, which you're probably wondering why you don't have a stick. These cars don't come with sticks. But there's a little thing holding the transmission right here. And we'll just slip it up, take it out to where the plenum is not attached to it no more, so the stick stays. Instead of taking all this off, I'm just gonna undo it here. And probably unhook my sensor and unhook here and here, these two sensors, my map sensor and my throttle body sensor. And on this side, you guys, we have here, and you also have to go to the bottom one, and you have to unloosen it so the bar comes off and it kind of just pivots. There's one of these on the front, bolt up top, bolt down bottom. There's one on the back, bolt up top, bolt down bottom. So I'm gonna get this plenum pulled apart and check bank 3 and see if a coil pack is a culprit. So we have a used coil pack here. Not good to use used parts, fellas, but we're gonna use a used part because we're out here in the country. As you can see, everywhere is country. But anyway, just to make sure that's our problem as well. So we'll unhook this. Okay, how you unhook these is you pull a tab back, the red tab, and then you press and pull. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. That's one of them. So this one here is a little bit of a problem. It's broken. So in that case, we'll have to use this. Probably out. It's always a problem when you don't have somebody helping you hold the phone. There we go. Okay. On these right here, I always pull the tab back, and then you just press it and pull. See the little thing moving? Okay. So I always just do something like this personally. I put a little screwdriver, just kind of scoot it back. Help me with it a little bit, you know. So, let's see. Push the button. Yes. There it is, guys. That's how they work. Anyway. So, I'm scoop this off to the side over here because we're not doing nothing on 2, 4, and 6. We're working on 3. 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6. It's on the internet. If you ever want to know the firing order or something, you just pull it up. Okay. Use my little handy wrench here. See if this is the one or not. I'm not sure. Nope, I think it's my wrench. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, let's see if I can do this. I'll personally use a drill just to help me get it quicker. So I'm gonna hit these with a drill just to loosen them up, get them going. Got two back hoses over here. Take these off. Pretty simple. Sometimes you can twist the hose a little bit. You don't want to break the arm that it's on, so be super duper careful. And as you can see, some tape's been used here because there's a gasket in here, a blue gasket, and it doesn't ever seem to hold. I've watched other videos and they say use two and that'll take care of the problem. So if it doesn't hold though, and you have some decent tape, just so you can, if you're looking for an air leak, that's what happened here. It was wrapped because it was leaking and stopped the leak, so motor was operating like it was supposed to be afterwards. So it just actually needs two new other blue gaskets right there. It's the Plenum intake pipe gasket, they call it. So anyway, put two up on it, you won't have that problem. Like I told you up here. And we just turn it up, like, you know, kind of a thing here. To unattach that, you just slide this up. As you can see, how I slid it up. Use a screwdriver, just slide it up a little bit. That's all you gotta do, really. Leave it on the pipe if you want. So, okay. Pipe back there. That's about it. Let's see. Gasket. You can see where the gasket actually didn't seat right. So I'm not gonna get it. Okay. Just to loosen them up. So when you're loosening these up, it really doesn't, like, you don't have to really go in sequence, right? But certainly when you tighten them, you do. And for those of you who don't know how, you start in the center. Tighten, 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 tighten. That's how you do that. And then you tighten it, but don't, you know, overdo it. And then you move to the outsides. So start at the inside and work it. Take your time with it when it comes to tightening. And these just come up and you twist them like so. So they're standing straight up. Should have my gloves on. I'm leaving gloves. I'm sorry if you fellas don't believe in them. I have enough nicks and crannies on my hand. Hands from doing a little bit here and there. I'm not a mechanic by trade. I just like to do some of my own stuff. And I've been through a lot, so. Okay, so this is going to be a 10 millimeter here. And I use a wrench like this personally on this. Which, oh, that was 10s as well. I should have said that. The top of the Plenum is 10s. Fixing to take this piece off here. I've already loosened it. These guys, you gotta be careful with these. As you can see it. So you don't have to take it off. set it somewhere where it won't fall. Lord, don't fall. Okay. So that's 10 millimeter. You gotta unhook your wiring down here. You just pull up on it, push back, and you can get here to this bolt, which I believe is a 12. That one, I think. Let's see what we have here. 12. That's 12. Was it? Okay, what was it? Let's see what uses it. It's a little hot. These I just put the wrench on and I pull up on it a little bit. Be simple with it. Now see how I'm loosening it up? And see how the bar's working off? You just want to back it off just enough to get the bar off. There it is. And it just lays to the side, and then you come back in and do the same thing on this one. Remember, these little guys have got to come all the way off, so. Be careful not to drop them. Probably better not to use gloves. And you got this little harness off, as you can see. This sets right up on there. Everything pushed away. Reach your arm from the front of the motor to the back. Hopefully the motor's not as hot as this one. Get your wrench on there. Push upward on these. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. If y'all don't know. Get my wrench back. So these right here, you just loosen a few turns, by the way, and then they'll loosen up with your finger. See that working out? Work it out just a little bit. You don't have to take them all the way out. No sense in all that. See, I'm not taking all this off. I could, but there's no need knowing that. So let's see. Get this Plenum out of here. And go back with a new set of gaskets. So you're supposed to do a new set every time. Every time. So they say. Doesn't mean you have to all the time. I'm just telling you what they say. They also say pay taxes. And we all do, right? So, most of us. All right. Let's see. Tuck this one aside, man. There we go. Get it out the way. This pipe out the back of it a little bit, gets in the way. This gets in the way. It usually goes like that, but it's kind of tough. It's a little tough to get out. Let y'all know that right now. There's a little trick to them. They'll come It's not that big of a deal. It'll come up. You just got to get it in the right little spot, and then it comes out. Just a little bit too tight, but it's okay. Not terrible. All right, there it is. It's out. So here we are. This is your map sensor right here. That's your map sensor. It's your throttle body. See up in here? See what I just did? Okay, that gets sooty and dirty. You gotta keep it clean. It's throttle body. If you want to take it off and clean it completely, you take these 4 10mm bolts out. Same thing with this. You be gentle when you're taking it. Just be careful. There's a little pin here that sticks out when you take it off that it kind of sits on to where you can bolt it up evenly. Throttle body, that's what this is right here. 100 and something a piece. I think they're 180. Best bet is clean it, because they usually don't fail. It's rare. There is a sensor in here, but usually you just replace the throttle. They replace the throttle bodies at the auto parts stores whenever you come in and you have an issue with that. But don't just run and replace parts. Always try to save the money. So here's 3 gaskets right here that will go back at noon today. Okay, so back to the main thing. Okay, so what we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so our problem is 3. The code read bang 3 misfire. So it's, you know, your spark plug, your coil pack, or your wire. Now, how often is it you are? Not often at all, of course. It's most of the time going to be a plug, then a pack, then a wire. But I mean, you could have, it happens, you have a burnt wire, but what we're dealing with here is a bad pack. I know that the plugs have been recently changed. This plug may be fouled again. I need to check it while I'm in here. But we're going to put another pack on 3. Bank 1, cylinder 3, bank 2, 246. Bank 1, 135, bank 2, 246. So we'll put a new pack in right here. Check the plug, clean it up. Clean out our PVC line here a little bit. Just clean it all up. I like to really clean it up. That way any leaks occur or anything like that, you can see. Here's all your fuel injectors, if you don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're all in order. And these are the fuel lines that it sits on. Here's the fuel lines. So you're going to redo injectors. First thing you do is make sure there's no pressure in the line by unhooking a negative cable and starting the car a few times until it won't crank, so you know that it's not under pressure. Then you just come up here, and on these little guys, just these little silver clips, pop them loose. Once you pop them loose on all 6, and then you get your hands on this line and you gently pull it up, and it pops out ever so slightly because it kind of like sits in with a little gasket on it, right? The pins are the only thing that holds it in, besides these bolts right here. I should have mentioned it first and skipped that part, sorry. There's 4 bolts on the fuel line that just hold the fuel line in place. They got to come out to where you can pop up the fuel line to get to the injectors. Once again, just because you can, don't run out and buy all new injectors, because a lot of times they can be cleaned. You don't have to spend any money. You can spend money on something else you like. Bring your lady out to eat a nice dinner or something, man. Quit spending all your money on your cars, fellas. Take care of them ladies. So I had the car read today, and it said I had a bad battery as well. Got some little sandpaper, cleaned it up, and put some grease on it. So I got to hook the battery back up. I got a Duralast Gold that I was able to put in here without having to buy one. These batteries are $200 nowadays. So anyway, it's, you know, each car goes by different cranking amps and whatnot. But if you come across any batteries, hold on to them is the point, because they're very expensive and going up. So here we are. We put a new battery in it, a new used battery that I know is good. And because the paperwork showed that the battery is bad. The car's running fine. Showed that the battery's bad. So, you know, you can't just say, oh, the machine must be wrong. Battery's probably going to fail. So we put a new battery in, and that'll help the performance of the car as well, because the car will fail, especially on a cold front. I don't know if you guys know that, but first cold spell hits you of the year, especially in different areas of the country, it zaps the batteries. So everybody and their grandma is at the auto parts store buying batteries and stuff. Okay, what we got here is a camshaft sensor. It's good. What we have here is the intake sensor, air intake sensor. And what do we have here? Here we have a map sensor. All these sensors are used but good. So what I do, got one more there, is I keep my sensors handy. What is that, another map, huh? It's another map. If you know sensors are good, they're just expensive. If you have them handy, it's amazing how quick you can fix a vehicle with just a sensor. But these days, your vehicles are made up of a lot of electrical components. One malfunctions, the car runs like doo-doo, doodly, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, I'm gonna clean all this up while we're in here and make sure nothing falls in this. You don't want nothing, don't have a lot of tool fall in here, or the motor will have to come apart all the way. So most people recommend take a rag, cover it so nothing has even a slight bit opportunity for that to happen. And that's very true. So that's covered up. Feel better about that. Right, here, what we got, bank 1, cylinder 3. Tuck a wire back for a second. What we're looking at is, let's see what we got. This ain't gonna take but a second. This is 10 millimeter. I'll put it on there. Let me just get this off here. This is a 10 millimeter. There you go. 10 millimeter on these coil packs. Let's see what we got going on. I'm gonna put you on the scene in just a second if you can't see. Just getting this little 10mm screw right out of the coil pack, right up top. Single 10mm screw, set it to the side. See somewhere where it won't fall. God forbid. Oh Lord. Okay, put these over here too where they safe. Now, let's see what we got here. Look at that cylinder. Wow. That looks so hard, doesn't it? What we're going to do is we're going to pull that plug and clean it up, put another pack in, and that should solve our problem. Our problem's on bank 1, cylinder 3, like they said. And that should solve our problem. Then we're going to clean it up. Check our gasket. That's that blue gasket I mentioned to you right there. That's the Plenum pipe gasket, they call it. Also put our 3 new gaskets in there. Here's our other pack. Also, while I'm in here, going to do some work on some wiring I seen that needs some attention. That wiring right in there. I'm going to wrap some of it with electrical tape. I really need to see that. I don't like that exposed that way. I mean, I actually need some more stuff like this that goes around wires. Some of this I got from work just to protect the wires. But anyway, you want to keep your wires from getting burned or damaged, you know, keep an eye out on that. At the end, when you're hooking everything back up, whatever you do, don't forget to slide the wires, the little wire braces back on these little guys right here. Because if you don't, then it might lay on the exhaust and burn, and you have major problem. Here's your serpentine belt. If you hear the noise coming from the front, something like that, always check this tensioner pulley. They're very cost effective to buy. So if you hear noise coming and you're not sure, oh gosh, don't wait until your belt jumps off or causes you to overheat, anything like that. Verify where the noise is coming from. And if you're not sure, there's a few methods where you can use a wooden stick, but you gotta really be somebody that's kind of inclined to be careful, because you use a wooden stick and you put it on the, you know, say if you put a wooden stick here and this car is running right now and you barely touch it from over here and barely touch it with a stick this long, you'll feel the vibration coming through the stick. If the bearings in this wheel is bad, you'll feel a vibration coming through the stick if you're touching it. So that's what, you know, a little trick. I don't know if you just, you know, don't tell a lot of people about that because it's kind of scary as well. So that's what we got, guys. Anti-lock brake system here. Water jug. A lot of people don't think about it when they have overheating problems. These jugs need to be replaced. Sometimes you get a hairline fracture in them. When they overheat and part on these cars, you have 2 T's, one here, and then there's one lower. These T's go out quite frequently on the 2.7. They're plastic. Now, my brother made one out of copper, so he would quit having to replace it. As a matter of fact, what do you know? What do we have there? Is that buildup from a leak or not? Can't tell. See, if that is from it leaking, beginning to leak, I'm gonna have to pay attention to this and check it. I would say that I would, you know, personally, I would go with a new T. Seeing that, why not? And you know, depends on what you're doing in your car, but see, the only reason I would say go, definitely, because I know they go out a lot. And why take a chance at overheating? So that's the upper T, heater hose. And then that other hose right next to it goes down to another T. Do those. And if you do have to do something like that, these cars require you to open this valve and then fill it. Take it all the way out, this piece here, and fill it slowly in the jug. When you're filling it in the jug, you'll see it start to rise. And it'll come all the way up to this gold, to the gold piece here, the very, very tip of it, because this will be removed at that point. And so it'll come up to it. And what'll happen is if you fill it fast, you'll start seeing air bubbles coming out of it and stuff. Or you may just see air bubbles coming out because it's got air in it and you're pushing it out. Very important to get the air out of the system on these vehicles. Sometimes I've known people that's put vehicles back together like this with an airlock in them and wonder, oh my God, I got a brand new vehicle. What's wrong with it? It's got a blown motor already and it's just got an airlock in it and they have no clue. I've actually heard of people changing out entire motors and didn't need to because they didn't know they had an airlock in their water system. That simple. So you take this out, okay, and once you get the water level up to here, make sure you fill it up on the reservoir the way it says full, and you'll see, let it sit a little bit. There's another trick, if you want to put the front of the car up high, you can. Put the front of the car up a little high, and then that'll make the air come out there. If you have air trapped in, you're trying to get it out. That's another little trick. You know, and other people talk about make it, you know, run it and get them out and all of that. Yeah, you can do all of that too. But once the system's cold and it's resealed, you refill it. You should be able to do it all by right here by just filling it, tightening up your bleeder valve here, and then you should be good to go with no problems. Turn your heater on when you fill the car and you crank it to where it gets the water all back through the heater hoses and all of that. So anyway, here we are. We're going to put another pack in right now. Oh, no, we're not going to do another pack. We're going to check that plug first, ain't we? So I'm going to go ahead and cut this video now, I guess. But I'm going to pull that plug and clean it. Then I'm going to put it back in, same plug, as long as it's not damaged, because I know it's relatively new. And put the coil pack in. And then put everything back together once I have it cleaned. Installation is reversal or removal. Next video I'll be making is on this Toyota RAV or Rave, whatever they call it, 4. I bought it from a fella and brought it out here to the country in a little vacation, little spot I like to come to. And get some work done right down that little baby. So I think the pump's not coming on. So I have to verify that first, and I'll do that in another video and see how it works out. That's a 2002 Toyota RAV4. That's a Vicnair pump right there, by the way. Air pump. I'll keep it right there all hooked up, ready to go. All I do is unhook it there, hook it to my battery if I need air. I also have another backup pump that I keep in here. It's a Roby pump, battery pack. It works really well, if you're wondering how well it works. Anyway, guys, fishing poles, go fishing. Good. I hope this was informative for you. So I already know how it is when you can't find something. That's your camshaft sensor there. So these will leak. They start leaking around here, and seal's bad on them, and you got to replace them. The sensor will be fine, the seal will just leak and make it read messed up, but they don't sell you just a little seal, they'll sell you another one. Believe that. Okay, well, this is the fan assembly. Comes with 2 fans. Your fan should run and shut off, and then it shouldn't come on for a while. Then it should run again for a little while, just shortly, and shut off. That's the design to do. The reason why they design them that way so they don't wear out quick. Well, yeah, they design them because if they did run constantly, they would never. You'd be replacing them on a continuous basis. So the only way they can do that is have them kick on and off with a relay, which is fine. So anyway, so that's installation is reversal as removal. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video, and I just wanted to share that with you guys, and hopefully this video was helpful to you, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, guys, appreciate you.